All right, joining me now, Sandra Smith, co-anchor of America Reports, and Jason Chaffetz, former Utah congressman, Fox News contributor and fellow at the Government Accountability Institute, author of the new book, Puppeteers. Welcome, kids. Sandra.
Oh, no, I was on camera that whole time. I'm checking for breaking news on this escalating situation.
We want you up to speed, completely up to speed. So speaking of up to speed, I mean, seriously, has the invasion really begun?
So we have been carrying the breaking news every hour here on the Fox Business Network and the Fox News channel. Trey Yanks reporting live on the ground from southern Israel in the 2 o'clock hour said to us, standing there as the night sky was lighting up with more activity than we have yet seen in 21 days of this. Trey Yanks reporting on the ground there, covering this every single day, every single hour, said there has not been a moment as serious as this. So there's a clear escalation going on right now. The big question is going to be, we talked to General Kellogg in the 2 o'clock hour as well. You just had him on. Are we going to know the moment when this is a full-scale ground invasion that we have been anticipating? Well, we know if that moment's... Look at the night sky lit up there right now.
Yep.
So this is obviously more than we have seen.
The answer is no. I mean, they're not going to hang a sign out. It's not like the Normandy invasion.
Right.
I mean, they're there. They've been moving in for days and days and days, bombing them, cutting off the food and fuel for the Hamas terrorists and so forth. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're there, whether that's official or not. I wouldn't believe the thing the Biden White House tells us anyway. All they do, Jason, and I'll say it again, all right, I've calmed down since Sandra came on set and calmed me down, as she always does. The fact remains, I am furious at the White House hand-wringing, that they're always worried that somehow Iran will escalate the conflict. You know, why don't we escalate the conflict and just blow Iran up? We turned their water off. They had no money 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and the Bidens let it all back in by not observing the sanctions. I mean, it is Iran that is the aggressor here. It is Iran. Without Iran, there'd be no Hamas and no Hamas barbaric invasion. I'm sorry, Jason, you go ahead.
No, I totally agree. Look, the White House philosophy is one of appeasement. Yes. They don't want to offend anybody. They try to have the best of all worlds, and consequently, the world's a more dangerous place. Last week, the president, in a reading off the teleprompter, said they would continue to hold Iran accountable. They've never held Iran accountable. And I totally agree with in your opening monologue when you're talking about this. If we don't have an energy policy, we can't starve the Iranians. The Iranians have money because we allow them money. We give them money. We don't have an oil policy. We enrich Russia so they can come after Ukraine. We enrich Iran so they can fund the terrorism. We could turn on the spigots here, starve them both, and the world would be a better, safer place.
I had our team yesterday pull the tape on the number of times that this administration said, don't. If you do, you will ultimately pay the price. You know, talking to these Iranian proxies that are all over. Don't fire at our U.S. bases in the Middle East.
Right.
Okay. So that's happened 20 times now. It took till then to finally get a response after reporters sitting at the White House yesterday continued to grill John Kirby on why haven't we responded?
Right.
We promised a fierce response if that occurred, and it was not happening.
That was our Jackie Heinrich.
Yes.
And he wouldn't answer the question.
That's right.
And he wouldn't answer the question. His semantics about direct involvement. Yeah. Of course Iran was directly involved. Front page of the Wall Street Journal. Sandra, you were texting me earlier. Is Joe Biden politically a dead man walking?
His approval with Democrats is now at a record low. 75% since his presidency. Worth noting as we get closer and closer to Election Day, his overall approval rating is at a record low as well. This war is a critical moment with his own party. He risks alienating many in his own party. When you look at the younger generation and Democrats and their sympathy for the Palestinians back in February, for the first time ever, more sympathizing with Palestine than Israel, 51%, according to Gallup. That is worth noting, and that is going to be a very interesting moment for this presidency, as we saw him very slow to react to all of this 21 days ago.
And Jason, what is his name?
Mike Johnson?
Mike? No, before we get to that. Phillips from Minnesota wants to run in the primary. What's the guy's name?
Yeah, you don't need to memorize it because he's not going to last very long. But I don't believe Joe Biden will be the candidate. I've been saying it for almost a year.
What if this guy runs, though, in New Hampshire? Biden's not even on the ballot in New Hampshire.
That's right.
So I know it's an ankle bite, but actually it could hurt.
Yeah, no, I think the president is sort of politically a dead man walking. I don't think he'll be the nominee. I don't think he'll be a candidate for the presidency even by the end of the year. He's not acting like it. According to the last quarterly report, he had less than 10 staffers working on his campaign. Wow. And look, normally we have crisis around the world. People rally around a president. That's the exact opposite is happening here. They're seeing that the weakness of the United States is leading to a more tumultuous world. Open borders, conflicts around the world, Ukraine getting worse, not better. He's just feckless and ineffective and a terrible communicator.
And Sandra, the new Republican House Speaker, Mike Johnson, has this crazy off-the-wall idea that if we're going to spend $200 billion now on foreign aid, we should offset it with domestic spending cuts. Otherwise, the budget grows, and so does inflation.
It's almost like he's been talking to Larry Kudlow.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that
Well,
idea?
no, I think this is all going to be really interesting because he has been against, he's voted multiple times against sending more aid, sending aid to Ukraine. He seems to be changing his tune a bit. He does not want the two tied together, as far as the last time I heard. But he might be coming around on aid to Ukraine. Trying to sort of, I don't know, do his job of evening things out there in the House.
Yeah, but the big point is how much they're going to
unifying the group.
Kim Strassel's column today. So they want over $100 billion for foreign aid, whether it's separate or together. Probably, I don't know. But they want another $55 billion for domestic aid. Okay, she calls it fiction emergency spending. And you know, Jason, when it starts at 50, it'll go to 100, and somebody's got to pay for it, rather than our taxpayers with higher inflation. Last word, we're running out of time.
Yeah, $6 billion in that package for high-speed internet. She calls it free Netflix.
We have to have it.
Yeah, I mean, and
we must have to have it.
Mike Johnson's going to be he's probably the most conservative speaker we've had in a long, long time. And I think it's one subject, one bill. They'll separate out the votes on that, and it'll be interesting to see who votes how.
I'd go Tigers.
Louisiana.
I mean,
Louisiana.
His team says he's
Sandra Smith and Jason Chaffetz. Go, Jason, go.
Dean Phillips, by the way.
Run, Jason, run. Sure and catch Sandra and her co-anchor, John Roberts. I think we've completely run out of time. I blew right through the break. But you know what I mean, folks. We love them all.